All right, guys, we are back with episode 4 of your credit union captain taking care of you. All right, so I wanted to give you guys some templates that you guys can use. Obviously, customize them as you need to for your accounts and whatever you need to do it for. I don't necessarily like templates, but I know some people don't know where to start. So here's where we're going to start, and then I'm going to branch out from here, right? Now, obviously, not every case is the same, so I can't give you guys a, hey, this is going to work every single time. It's not. I'm just going to tell you right now. But it will work. And as long as you edit it appropriately and you kind of add your own, flair to it, you'll get the results you're looking for. All right. So we'll read through it. And then again, I'll, everything that I have listed here is also below. So you guys can see screenshot wise where these laws and things that came from that help us, the consumer basically. So here's for LexisNexis, right? Here's their address. So take that as you will. You're going to insert your name and address here. If you already have your LexisNexis report, insert the reference number, right? So insert reference if you already have your report. If not, don't worry about it. If you do, insert your reference number. This will make sure that they know that it's actually you and not a repair company. Like it'll say, oh, this person knows their rights. We should leave them alone. Da 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 da. Cool. Awesome. So this will say, to whom it may concern, this is a formal notice that your company is to cease and desist all sharing my personal information without my expressed written consent, right? That is a federal statute that companies must abide by. 15 USC 1681 A2. Please also note, prior to sharing any personal information with a non-affiliated third party, LexisNexis must first have permission from the consumer as well as notify the consumer of their non-disclosure rights, which is another federal statute, 15 USC 6802 B1C, right? Once you guys learn these, you'll realize that all the stuff they're doing is illegal, okay, guys and girls. I have never given your company permission, nor did your company explain to me how I can exercise my non-disclosure rights prior to sharing my personal information. Please provide a full audit trail of all communication between your company and any third party that it has shared my information with. Further, please delete all information contained within my report. Failure to do so or failure to respond altogether may result in a defamation of character lawsuit to be filed in court. I will be seeking $1,000 per account. Right, here's the federal statute that gives you that right. All right, not a privilege, it's a right. You have a right to do this. 15 USC 1681 N 1A, shared with a non-affiliated third party, should your company fail to respond or meet expectations of deleting all personal information on file. Look forward to, I should put I here, sorry. I look forward to amicably resolving this matter, not an attempt to verify information. All responses that represent verified or validated will constitute harassment. Now, I always put this in here because sometimes when you send these disputes out to these companies and they say, oh, this was verified, oh, it was validated. Nah, that's not what I'm asking you to do. I didn't ask for a verification, didn't ask for validation. I simply told you what to do, which is my right. And if you choose to respond in this manner, it's now harassment, which gives me more ammo in court, right? And sometimes you do have to go to court, guys. Like, I'm not sure why we weren't taught that in school, but like these companies, they've been doing it for so long that they really don't know that they're like breaking the law. If like it's kind of sad. Some people do in the company, but let's say you're a new hire, let's say you just started and you're like, wow, the company's great. I love it. They treat me so well. Um, but you don't know that what they're doing is actually breaking the law. You're just there doing your job. They say, hey, if you get this response, you send this response. And that's all they're doing. They're like robots. So all of everything you're doing is gathering information. You're ready to go, rearing up, right? So you say thank you, enter your name. P.S. Please see all federal statutes below to confirm the referenced information above. Right now, I do this because nobody else does. I know nobody else does because not everybody knows this stuff. So I make sure that listen, you have no way out of this, right? I've already showed you the statute, then I showed you a screenshot of the statute, right? So the first one, 15 USC 1681 81B A2, right here, B A2, right? In accordance with the written instruction of the consumer to whom it relates. So the federal statute says they have to have written instructions from the consumer in order to share the information. It says right here. So if they didn't have your permission, that is illegal. Illegal. Let's go to the next one. 15 USC 6802B1C. Right? Here it is. Obligations with respect to disclosure of personal information. Right? It says right here, except as otherwise provided in the subchapter, a financial institution may not directly or through any affiliate disclose to a non-affiliated third party any non-public personal information unless such financial institution provides or has provided the consumer a notice that complies with section 680.03 of this title. Boom, right here, opt out. The financial institution may not disclose non-public information to a non-affiliated third party unless the consumer is given an explanation of how the consumer can exercise a non-disclosure option. When have you ever been contacted by LexisNexis to say, hey, by the way, I'm going to share information. Here's how you can not get it shared. You want to do this? And you say what? Yeah, I don't want you to share information, obviously. They're making $1 billion a year off us, people. $1 billion a year. Make sure you protect yourself. Right, and then the last one, civil liability for willful noncompliance. Right here, it says any actual damages suffered by the consumer as a result of the failure or damages of not less than $1,000 or $100 and not more than 1,000. Right, for any person who fails to fully comply with the required imposed under this subsection with respect to consumer is liable. So any consumer is liable that consumer amount is equal to some. So the laws are here to protect you. We just got to learn them, right? And these are all like I got the rest of them up here too. So here's the address for LexisNexis. Make sure you grab that, right? And then here I got the direct contact for Innovis, right? Mike Catello, operations manager. Here's his address. Okay. And the rest of the body is the same, but they're just going to different companies. So all the body is the same thing. Just the address is different. So this is for Innovis, right? Now, the thing I wanted to show you about Innovis, okay? We never want to dispute online. You have no proof that you can dispute it online. You can say, oh, but I did through the port. They can say they didn't get it, right? That's how they get you. And that's like, they're allowed to do that, right? That's why I always suggest that you send mail or you fax it because that gives you a confirmation number each time, right? You always want to send it by mail. Don't want to do this. And don't do it over the phone. I mean, you can do it over the phone. For Innovis and Lexis, I did over the phone just because I got somebody that was afraid of me. When you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to record this call, and did you know these are federal violations? They kind of do what you want them to do. You can either call or mail it in. I suggest mailing it in because you have a paper trail. I like paper trails. So just don't do disputes online. That goes for Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Never dispute online. Some people will tell you to do it. That's cool. I like a paper trail. You have no way of providing a paper trail if you dispute online. And I have a dispute. I have a way of proving it outside of that. So that's that. And here, I want to show you guys that their addresses are always different if you know where you're going. My address goes directly to a decision maker. All right, you see this operations manager, and the address is completely different than if you're sending a basic dispute to this address here. All right, not even the same state. All right, so you want to make sure you're paying attention to that. Not everybody knows that there's a difference. Some people just go with the first address they see. These people here, like, no disrespect, but these people here, like, they're not educated the way that they need to be for this. That's why I send stuff to a decision maker. Once a decision maker sees cease and desist defamation of character lawsuit pending, he's going to be like, all right, let's just stop with this person because you're one out of like millions of people, right? If you send it to this address, these are robots. They're just going to be like, oh, well, they told me to send this response when I get this type of letter. So I'm going to send this response. And you're like, oh, this stuff doesn't work. No, it does. Trust me, it works. It's just, you got to get through, what you got to get through. Here's the address for ChexSystems, right? This is the address for ChexSystems, so take note of that. Like I said, the rest of the body is the same because these companies are all doing the same thing. They're just doing different parts. ChexSystems is, doing bank accounts, checking the savings. Innovis is doing basically everything. LexisNexis is doing primarily bankruptcies and public records like child support, stuff like that. It's just all about, putting your foot down. And here's early warning. The crazy thing about early warning, guys, is that they're actually owned by some of the biggest banks in the game. So these banks came together and are trying to make it harder for you, the consumer, to just open a bank account. It's kind of scary, right? It says right here, this is this CFPB, right? The only bureau, by the way, CFPB. So you can see here, early warning is co-owned by Bank of America, Truist, Capital One, JP Morgan, Chase, PNC Bank, US Bank, and Wells Fargo. That's who owns it. So you're like, man, why can't I get these credit cards? Well, if you have a bad early warning services account or report, all these banks are on there. They are the owners, so they are going to see the same information. That's why they're denying you. And if you don't know, a lot of these smaller banks sometimes are a part of these bigger banks. So you want to clean up that early warning report, right? So here's their address, phone number, and it tells you a little bit about them. You can order one free report every 12 months if you request it. Okay, so these are just how you dispute with these people right here. Early warning, ChexSystems, Innovis, Lexis. All right, that was episode 4. Here comes some more. In the next video, we're going to get into, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of my background in the next video, a little bit about my story in this credit repair space, and then we're going to get into some more of the good stuff, probably touch with collections.